Welcome back to another video. If you're new, my name is Leah and I am all about spending less, creating more, and sharing with you how you can do the same thing in your kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you part 2 of my $100 a week grocery challenge. I had purchased 2 weeks worth of groceries, minus a couple items probably, and I will be sharing with you the recipes and what we are doing with those ingredients for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for my family of 4. The first thing I'm gonna get started with is breakfast prep. We're doing some little pumpkin spice waffles, and our ingredients will be eggs, brown sugar, flour, the pumpkin spice seasoning, baking soda, baking powder, milk, and then we also need some oil. Making pumpkin waffles.
Ew.
You want to mix it for me?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's 6.
My mommy and me are just baking.
We'll get started with the next part. I want you to scramble 6 of our white eggs.
Okay.
Good job. Beautiful, sis.
I forgot. There we go.
Good job. What'd you say?
I said, nope, there's no shells. 3, 4.
So how many more do we need?
2 more?
Yes, that's right.
How do you know?
You did good math.
Next. Let me count right now. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Give me 5. Yeah. Counter, we just used eggs.
I want to.
Good job. We had a wardrobe change because of the eggs. All right, we're gonna make our little dips. So how many do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of us.
No, but there's enough for you and Weston for how many days? Look, Malin and Weston.
1, 2, 3.
These waffles made 13. We have 6 here for this week, and then we're gonna put the other 7 for next week in a bag.
Well,
I'm going to put this in the Instant Pot so that way it can be shredded up later and then used in different recipes like a taco bowl, chicken pot pie, soup, things like that. While the chicken is cooking, I'm also getting chicken broth out of it. I'm not even peeling the onions because those peels will add color and nutrients to my recipes, and it's just so much easier this way. Montreal steak seasoning is like our must season for burgers. Anytime we do burgers or steak, I always use this. We're almost out, so I'll have to make sure I add that to my next grocery list. But we're gonna go ahead and cook these on my cast iron skillet and then probably do some grilled onions as well. It is Sunday morning, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw in this sirloin into the Instant Pot so later on we can have basically roast with some easy mashed potatoes, baby carrots. I might have some broccoli with that as well. I am just layering this in the Instant Pot with our favorite seasoning and about half a cup of water just so that it can come to pressure and cook properly. Now, Dakota really does not prefer meat that has a lot of fat throughout it, and I know that adds a lot of flavor, but a lean cut of meat like this cooked up like a roast is actually his preference over a really good chuck roast. So not only do we have less fat for our macros, but also it's his favorite flavor profile as well. Next, I'm making a chicken pot pie baked in my favorite buttery, flaky crust.
Baked on a buttery, crispy crust. Flaky. I like flaky all again.
Now you can use a store-bought crust to save yourself some time, and you can even use a recipe that doesn't use so much butter like mine does, but it is by far my favorite recipe to use for a pie crust. Now this recipe makes both a bottom and a top crust, so you could save money and calories by cutting the recipe in half and only putting the crust on top of the pot pie if you want.
Be careful with
Cooking from scratch is ironically not always my favorite thing, but I love the memories that it creates. My kids may not remember recipes, but they're going to remember techniques. How to cut an onion, how to let things simmer, to take their time, to make mistakes, to try new things, to experience new flavors, and doing it all with someone that you love for the people that you love. I will be the first to admit I love using items of convenience, but I also want to teach my children to be resourceful, to take pride in the things that they have, and to use them wisely, to enjoy what we have and not always feel that we need more. It's definitely not always easy, especially in a world that seems to promote overconsumption. But maybe this channel can help remind all of us that we can do it. I love the seasoning on just about everything, including chicken pot pie, so you might want to give that a try. We had 3 portions of this meal left over for lunches to use, 1 for Dakota the next day and 2 that I put into my freezer for another day we needed something quick and easy. In my grocery budget challenge video, I purchased a block of cheese to show how you can use that in your cooking, but I want to use my shredded cheese I already had in my fridge from before that trip because it should be used before I open up a new block of cheese. So hopefully that makes sense to you why I'm doing that, but you can still make this meal with everything that I had purchased in that shopping trip. Now, Taco Tuesday in our house is usually one of the fastest meals that we make all week because my proteins are already cooked usually in the freezer. I like to batch cook things like I did earlier this week. And then things like canned beans are super fast as well. So throw that all together with some sauteed onions, seasoning, rice or tortillas, chips, cheese, all the toppings that you want, and it is a delicious, filling, and nutritious meal that literally takes like 10 minutes. This next meal costs about 75 cents per serving and takes about 5 minutes of work. So you're gonna wanna make sure you save this recipe. And if you haven't purchased Tony's Creole seasoning yet, I think you really should. We didn't end up using the rice, but you could also add that just to make it even more filling. But this is a recipe that I fall back on anytime that I'm not really sure what to cook. I don't really feel like making anything. It's full of flavor, protein, fiber, and it allows me to restock my freezer with a few meals for later on too. So it's just a win-win. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can do all of this on your stovetop, but this is a great recipe to go ahead and get started before you head out to work, and then it's ready when you get home. Now you can rinse and soak your beans if you'd like to, of course, but if I pressure cook my beans, I realized that I actually don't have to soak them overnight or for a long period of time, and we have had zero issues doing this. Once these are fully cooked, the longer you let them simmer, the thicker they're going to get, and leftovers in the fridge are going to thicken up on their own as well, so keep that in mind. And if they ever get too thick, just add some more broth or water and more seasoning as needed. I also had a box of Jiffy Mix in the pantry, and Weston had requested cornbread for that evening, so I whipped that up, and we ended up with several leftovers that I was able to put into the fridge and the freezer. Keep lunch pretty simple around here with a combination of convenient, frugal, fun, and intentional leftovers. I won't be sharing every single thing that we ate for breakfast, lunch, and snacks, but here's a few ideas of what we were doing to get us through that week. One way we save money is by making our own version of Chobani flips with these little separated Rubbermaid snack containers. The Greek yogurt has the extra protein, and the kids can choose whatever toppings they want to put in each cup. And we can make these ahead of time or the day of. I know I've shared these before, but they are just too awesome. So of course, I will leave a link in the description box for you where you can purchase them on Amazon. Like most households, we still had some items left over from the previous week's grocery haul, so I want to make sure that I use some of those things as well. You'll see that in our lunches this week, whether it's some fruit that we still had on hand or chips that were already open that I wanted to make sure we used before opening a new bag. So those are all things that are pretty important in making sure that we are staying frugal. Aside from leftovers, Dakota and I have been utilizing salad kits, frozen chicken that we have on hand, and even lunch meat to make some really easy, quick lunches. Now, Lunchables are definitely not a staple for us. We like to have them on hand maybe once a week or a couple of times a month that they can pick for one day. But they also understand how to make their own homemade Lunchables. Sometimes the exciting part of their lunch is that they are part of the meal planning process. They pick what sides, what fruit, what snacks they get to take with them. And sometimes it's the fact that they had a special cookie cutter cutting out their peanut butter sandwich. There are times where they take leftovers from the night before for lunch. They eat whatever we happen to have on hand, but because they're part of packing their lunch, they are much more apt to actually eat and enjoy what they have at school. I am going to highlight this one last snack idea because this is a winner. Melt some peanut butter, and then whatever you have on hand, you can just dip it in there. Apples, animal crackers, graham crackers, Ritz crackers. Literally just dip your snacks into the peanut butter. You can layer them like nachos if you want, but it is so delicious. Add some honey if you want to change up the flavor profile. You already know we cannot survive without peanut butter in our house. So hopefully this video gave you some inspiration, showed you what you can do with your grocery budget of $100 for your family of 4 for the week. And of course, until the next video, I'll see you down in those comments.